Hey guys, so I'm here today to talk to you about some animal adaptations. So I'm going to be filming myself with a few different kinds of animals, and we're going to break them up by talking about their mouths, their feet, and their defense. But for this first animal, I'm just going to talk about everything about them. Now this first animal, they are very dangerous. Like, I might lose my hands. Kind of dangerous. So, are you ready? So just kidding, not dangerous at all. This is a baby duck called a duckling. So he's very little, only about a week or two old. He's actually kind of big for a baby duck. When they're born, they're much smaller. So I'm going to be talking about some of these things with baby ducks. So we'll talk all about them. Here are the baby ducks and chickens. We can talk about them too. So I'm actually at a friend's house of mine and we are in her garage. And so she has this big tub here and she's raising these baby ducks and chickens. So right here she has some food. So she actually made a little food for them out of a egg carton. So this is what they eat. It's very easy for them to eat. She also has water here. So you fill it all the way up, turn it upside down, and so they drink out of this part right here. They have shavings, and they also have a heat lamp. So you can see it's a pretty popular spot. They are little babies. They don't have feathers yet, so by having the heat lamp, it makes sure it keeps them all nice and warm. So let's see, we have 3 ducks. All 3 of them are right there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, oops, sorry, that's duck 2. 4 ducks and 6 chickens. Okay? Okay, so I picked up one of the other ducks. This one's smaller than the other one. And I took off my glasses because the reflection is like shining on them. It's really distracting. So this is one of the other ducks. It's black and yellow. So we're going to talk about some of its adaptations. So let's start with the mouth. It has a flat beak. So it doesn't have any teeth, so it won't bite me. I could put my hand in front of it. It could probably kind of like try to nibble at it, but it's not going to hurt me at all. Now, a chicken has more of a pointed beak, so those could hurt a little bit more if they were to peck at you. These don't hurt at all. It's round. Ah, didn't hurt. It just scared me. Yeah, so it just nibbled at my finger, but it didn't hurt. Just scared me. So it's really flat. So it uses its beak to eat its food. So it is a omnivore. So remember, omnivore means it eats both plants and animals. Omni is Latin for all, kind of like omniscient that you learned in your reading class. Oh, nibble at my finger again. So it eats aquatic plants. Aqua is Spanish for water. So it eats plants that are in the water. And it also eats insects and worms and other small things like that. So they eat both plants and animals. So that's its mouth. And then it also, let's talk about its feet. So it has webbed feet. See right here. So it's almost like if you had your hand here. Ooh, I'm going to put him down for a moment so I can explain. So it has webbed feet. So it's kind of like if you were to have your hand and there's like a little bit of skin like in between each one, like that. So if you have webbed hands, then there's more of it. How do I explain that? You know, like whenever you swim and the water goes through your fingers, well, the webbing in between makes it to where there's not as much water that passes through it. So it can swim a lot easier. That's why if you were to go swimming, some people would offer you flippers. So it kind of looks like feet, but it has webbing in between. So you can get more resistance so you can swim a lot easier. Okay? So these ducks have webbed feet for swimming. Let me grab another one. Let's see. I have not picked you up yet. Oh, this is a big one. Okay. So its beak, its feet, its webbed feet. So it almost looks like it has like 3 main parts of its feet, and then the webbing is this really soft part right here in between. Okay. And then so the third thing we're talking about with animals is their defense. Now, baby ducks, they're called ducklings. They don't have much of a defense. Their defense is their mom. And so their mom protects them, keeps them under their wings, and leads them to where they need to be safe. But for these, they don't need a mom because they are being raised by my friend here. So then we also dip into inherited traits and learned traits. So learned traits are obviously things that you learn how to do. Like, for example, riding a bike. You learn how to ride a bike. You're not born knowing how to ride a bike. That would be cool. So ducks, they swim in water. And that is something that they don't need to learn about. They just instinctively know how to swim. And so I bet you the reason why is because we have chickens in here too. But if it was just the ducks in here, she could have a little small pool in here and they'd be fine. They know how to swim. They can swim from very, very early on. Okay, so these help them swim. And so they have this really soft fur right now. Here's this itty bitty wing, so little. So they have fur. Whenever they get older, they start to develop more feathers, and the feathers are waterproof. So it helps them keep them warm in the water. If they want to, they can stretch out their wings a little bit so they can get some water in there so that they can cool off. But for now, the fur will it's mostly just to keep them warm for now, to help them stay warm. So yeah, there's our baby ducks, our ducklings. I'm just going to video them for a moment so you can see what they're doing when I'm not really close by. So you can see them eating right there. And getting a drink. So ducks, they like to have water near their food because that food can be a little dry. So you notice he'll take some bites there and then he'll follow with a drink. So if you have any ducks like at your pond and you feed them food, like what my family does, they have their food in a bowl and then they have water right next to it so that they can get plenty of water too. So you have another duck laying down over there. He's kind of doing some shaving around, making himself comfortable. You have a chicken eating. You have some chickens here. Ooh, they're going to peck at each other a little bit. Ooh, that one's a little mean. Yeah, you can just observe them for a moment. Which one do you think is the cutest? We got some that, I got one over there, that little chicken. It's all yellow. And then we have some over here that are multicolored. We have a black duck, kind of a grayish brown duck right there, a black and white duck, and then this one's just eyeing me. Let's see what he was doing right there. So they're looking for little insects to eat. So the chickens are like scraping the shavings with their feet, their claws. So they're looking to see if there's going to be any insects in there. Sometimes they'll get lucky and they'll find one and they just go crazy. Ooh, did they find something? They found something in there. Very entertaining to watch. I'm also going to go ahead and give you a little insight to another animal we're going to do. We're going to do chickens. But I don't think we have baby chickens at the next place I'm going. But we have a baby chicken here. So I just want to point out some features of it. So it has a beak. And it's a lot more pointy than the smooth round one that the ducks have. So this one is a lot pointier. So if it was to peck at me, well, this one's so little it probably won't hurt. But a big one, if they really want to peck at you, it will hurt pretty bad. And so this one, I picked this one up for a purpose because, so it's a baby. And so it has like the very soft fur, just kind of like the duckling does. This one is also starting to develop some feathers. So you can see some of its feathers starting to come in here. And then its feet, they aren't, excuse me. So they aren't as webbed as a baby duck's, but has a little bit of webbing. Can you see it in there maybe? So it has just a little bit of webbing, but not very much, and they have more claws. Try to get to where you can see it, but you're not seeing my finger. So you can see it has some more sharp claws. So we'll talk more about that whenever I go interview the chickens. But I wanted to go ahead and show you how cute this little baby chicken is. Yes. All right. Bye!